In this video, pag-uusapan po natin ano ang exothermic and endothermic. This is just a continuation of the previous topic regarding the introduction of thermochemistry where we've discussed system and surrounding. Right now, pinag-uusapan naman natin is the flow or at the least we've labeled the flow of the heat sa ating mga system and surrounding. So in this situation, we have two different flows which is endothermic or exothermic. So I've said last time, ang pinag-usapan po natin, paano yung flow, it's always from higher temperature to lower temperature. Now, it varies depending sa kung sino po ang mas malamig na area. Is it going to be the surrounding or the system? So, kung mas malamig ang system, ibig sabihin nun, it would be endothermic because it would flow towards the system. Okay? Now, if the surrounding is cold naman, therefore the movement would be to the surrounding naman. Okay? So, kung ang situation dito, mas malamig ang system, so ang magiging flow nito, it would be endothermic. Papasok ngayon ang init papuntang system. Now, the surrounding would get colder because lahat ng energies from the surrounding will be transferred to the system. Now, the same thing happens with the exothermic but in an opposite pattern. Since mas malamig ang surrounding, ibig sabihin lahat ng init from the system would flow outside to the surrounding. Okay? So, it means that the system would be colder compared to the surrounding because lahat nga ng init ng system na yun, inilabas na ngayon. That is the natural flow of heat when it comes to this situation. This is also the reason why ito yung mechanics na nangyayari po sa lahat ng bagay sa paligid natin. For example, yung mga simple cell phones, devices like laptops, cell phones, ganyan. Ano ba, yung laptop mo, sobrang init na yan. But if you put it in a table, on the table, ayan, on the table, on the table, on the table, if you put it on the table, lahat ng heat coming from the laptop will now be transferred from the laptop, the system, to another system like the table. Okay? So, mararamdaman mo, pagtanggal mo ng laptop mo, mararamdaman mo na mainit ngayon yung table because all of those heat transferred from higher to lower. The lower temperature was the table. Now, nangyari, hihinto lang yung init nun once sa pantay na po yung init ng table tsaka nung laptop. Okay? The same thing happens kapag ka po meron kang cellphone na mainit. Ang ginagawa natin usually, di ba, tinatapat natin yun sa isang electric fan. Ngayon, habang yung ating electric fan nagpo-produce allow ng flow ng air papunta dun sa cellphone, kinukuha ngayon ng air na yon yung init galing sa phone. That's why it gets cooled down. Okay? So, same principle happens to that. Mas malamig yung air, kinuha ngayon ng air yung may init na part ng cellphone, lumamig ngayon ang cellphone because of that airflow. Since mas malamig nga yung air. Okay? So, take note of the process na nangyari dito. When you say endothermic, heat flows into the system and the system becomes warmer by absorbing energy and the surrounding becomes colder. And if it is more of an addition of energy to the system, the letter H or what we call the enthalpy, ang tawag natin kasi dyan sa H na yan is enthalpy. The enthalpy is it's another computation na ginagamit natin to determine whether a reaction ba or a change in the heat in a reaction would be more exothermic or more endothermic. So, that depends. But, anyway, pagka ang H kasi naging positive, ibig sabihin yan, more absorption yan ng energy. And, again, we call it enthalpy. Okay? So, in opposite to that, if it becomes negative, it's more of an exothermic. Now, when it comes to the physical changes na nangyayari sa ating reaction, usually, kapag ka po nag-endothermic ang isang substance, all of its bonds are breaking. Tulad, ano bang bonds ang pinag-uusapan natin dito? It's like hydrogen bond. Naghihiwalay yung mga possible maghiwalay yung mga hydrogen bonds when it comes to absorption of energy. Too much energy in a substance or in a molecule, pwede kasi siya maghiwalay. Okay? Parang kagaya lang sa ice cube. Here in this example. Si ice cube na solid, very compact, And it only happens kapag ka po 0 degrees Celsius or it's in its freezing point. Now, if you add more energy to that, solid ice, which is magkakaroon ng endothermic dito, add more of energy. Now, yung solid na compact na yun ng molecules, like this one, very dikit-dikit, magi-start sila ngayon mag-loose. Or rather, yung bond sila mag-start na mag-break, maghihiwalay-hiwalay yung mga molecules. And eventually, kapag ka ininit mo pa siya ng ininit, those bonds will completely bounce with one another because it becomes a gas. So that's why bonds are breaking kapag ka po nag-absorb siya ng energy. Okay? So another thing is that you have to remember that the temperature of the surrounding decreases because all of the energies outside of the surrounding will be absorbed by the system. Now, in an opposite to that situation, an exothermic naman, lahat ng heat coming from the system will flow out of the system and it moves towards the surrounding. That's why yung system becomes cooler kasi nabawasan nga ang kanyang energy. Now, the reason why is that the surrounding is probably much cooler compared to the system. So, for example, let's say ikaw ay nasa isang classroom na naka-on ang aircon. So, the aircon room rather is mas malamig compared sa outside na area. Okay? So, now, ang ginawa mo po, naglagay ka ng mainit na kape dyan sa kwarto na yan. Pagbalik mo, di mo naman ininom yung kape. Pagbalik mo, mainit na. Mainit pa yung kape. Pero nung another time na pinagbalikan mo pa siya, lumamig siya eventually. Because lahat ng init dun sa ating kape, kinuha ngayon nung room. Kasi mas malamig yung labas. Okay? Mas malamig yung labas nung kape. So eventually, lumamig lang din yung kape mo kasi kinuha nga nung malamig na air. Okay? So, actually, this is also one of the mechanisms or rather ginagamit ng mga architects and engineers. Nag-aaralan nila yung paano yung flow of heat, exothermic ba or endothermic ba, because it's one of the fundamentals na pinag-aaralan nila when it comes to building a house or any buildings na pwede nilang gawin. Now, pinag-aaralan nila. Kaya mapapansin nyo, may mga rooms po na maganda ang airflow, may mga rooms na malamig, may mga rooms na mainit because they take advantage of this topic or rather pinag-aaralan nila to so that they can make sure that there is a good flow of heat when it comes to buildings, yung mga 3-story na buildings or even a house, ganun. Okay? Anyway, ang enthalpy naman natin kapag ka naging negative daw, it is more exothermic. Ibig sabihin doon, naglalabas siya ng init. And sabi naman dito, if bonds are breaking sa endothermic, then bonds are forming again when it release an energy. This is explained pagdating sa mga tulad sa gas, now vaporized water na nagsusolidify through condensation and eventually freezing. Para sila po ay mag-solidify or mag-condensate, kailangan nila magbawas ng energy. And therefore, yung mga bonds nila nagiging compact ulit sila. Okay? Now, remember na kapag ka po nag-exothermic ang isang system, ang surrounding ngayon ay tumataas ang temperature, yung system bumababa. So, let's create a diagram where you can imagine, or at least an illustration where you can use to determine whether it is going to be an endothermic or an exothermic. So, we have here a solid to liquid and gas. Okay? Lahat ng papunta dito sa from solid to liquid to gas, ang temperature is always increasing. Okay? Now, if gas to liquid to solid naman, ang temperature naman nito ay decreasing. Okay? Lahat ng temperature from gas to liquid and solid, ang temperature is decreasing. Let's ulit natin. Decreasing. Temperature from gas to liquid, solid, decreasing. Pag solid to liquid and gas, increasing naman to. Increasing. Now, lahat po na nag-i-increase ang temperature, change, or phase of change ng solid, liquid, or gas, is always an endothermic. Kasi kailangan nila magpasok ng energy so that it could transform from solid to liquid and gas. Lahat naman decrease is an opposite of endothermic, which is exothermic. In order for you to solidify a liquid, kailangan magbawas, similar to how a liquid water can become a solid kapag ka po nilagay mo siya sa freezer. Kasi nagbabawas siya ng temperature, eventually yung molecules. Bumabagal ng kinetic energy, therefore, nagiging solid sila, nagiging compact. So, I could also explain the KMT or the kinetic molecular theory ng ating mga substance. Kapag ka ang solid nag-decrease ng energy, means nagbawas siya ng energy, okay? Nagbawas ang temperature niya, ang KMT ng solid is much more lower compared to the liquid and gas. Okay? So, that's how it works. Na-explain natin. Intermolecular attractions, the IMF. I could also explain the IMF ng ating mga molecules. Intermolecular, not intra. Kasi intramolecular is a different conversation. Intermolecular is the attraction of the molecules. Kung mapansin nyo, pagdating sa solid, very mataas ang intramolecular, pero pagdating sa liquid, mababa. Liquid and gas. Okay? And all of these are interconnected to one another, and when we are explaining the exothermic and endothermic reactions or the flow of energy pagdating sa ating mga physical changes ng ating substances. For example, if a gas condensate, magta-turn siya into liquid, ano kaya ang nangyari sa kanya in order for it to become a liquid? Ano kaya ang nangyari sa kanya? Was it undergoing an exothermic or endothermic? So, papunta kasi tayo dito from right side to left side. Ang sabi nga natin kanina, lahat ng from right side to left side, gas to liquid, under ng condensation, nagde-decrease ang temperature. Therefore, it's an exothermic. Ang kanyang kinetic molecular energy or the movement of the molecules lalong bumababa, temperature bumababa, pero ang kanyang attraction ay tumataas. Okay? So, ganun na nangyayari sa ating condensation. Bonds are forming between the molecules so that it could become a liquid. What if we undergo solid to liquid? Is it undergoing exothermic or endothermic? It's going to undergo endothermic because lahat po from solid to liquid ay nag-undergo ng increase in temperature. Well, in order for it to increase the temperature, you must be undergoing endothermic. Okay? So, that's going to be melting. Okay? So, this is an illustration of how the flow works. Whether how you define an endothermic or exothermic sa isang physical changes ng ating mga substances. You have to remember this is only for physical transformation. Ibang usapan na kasi yung chemical changes. No, iba yung nangyayari sa mechanism ng end-to-end exo when it comes to chemical changes. Ano lang to phase changes. Solid, liquid, gas. When it comes to physical, if you still remember, no composition of molecule changes. Only its phases. Okay?